is you're in the situation where Rory and Maul they didn't show up to the podcast for however many weeks, and you have a staff of people that producers, video guys, and all that you have to feed, that you have to pay. You know what I'm saying? That to be on payroll, but your top two guys that are a part of the show aren't showing up, so that affects the bread that's coming into the rest of the staff's pockets. You know what I'm saying? So how would y'all handle the situation? Would you have the show must go on type thing the way Joe did, or are you waiting for them?
I mean, the shows. I mean, that's tough. The show's got to continue because you got to continue to make your bread. I also don't know what it says. What's in their contracts if they have to do it. Like if Joe Budden has to do the show by himself, if he has to, you know what I mean. So I mean, when you start coming down to the bottom line, you got to keep it pushing. If they're not showing up, you know what I mean.
I mean, they're content creators, so yeah, the show must go on. But the issue with my problem is that looking at the story, the issue would have been solved sooner. And that like my thing is that it could have been solved sooner, but Joe
really could have been.
And that's the problem. And it's like my thing is, and this is what I wanted to say. Like my biggest thing, like when people talk about friends in business, is that you gotta understand people's values and you gotta meet them where they're at when it comes to friends in business. Like if we bring in somebody, for example, that doesn't want to do podcasting, that doesn't care for podcasting, that doesn't have anything to say, or it's very lackadaisical. It's not really even like interested in media, and we try to bring them onto a podcast permanently, or even to, the entity permanently. It's going to affect the business.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you have to understand people's values. And I think a lot of the times the problem is going back to just talking about talent. For example, it's a lot of people look at people's talent, but they don't understand people's point of view with their talent. There are some people that are crazy good at basketball, crazy good at sports, but don't want to go and be a professional athlete. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you don't meet them where they're at, that's where the friction comes in. Because the thing is, a lot of people just assume that, okay, you're this talented, you want to do this forever. Not everybody want to sit here and play sports forever. Not everybody want to be podcasters forever. Not everybody wants to be an artist forever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you don't understand those values, and you don't understand your homie from where he's at, where he wants to be, how he wants to live his life, you're going to look at it from a standpoint of like, yo, like, why is this happening? We making good money. And it's not to say that Rory or Maul didn't want to do that, because they said it. They care about their friend's business and working with their friends and making everything great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they cared. So it's like for Joe to now act as if, oh, they're acting funny. It's like you're the one whose values changed. You know what I'm saying? It's like Maul specifically said it. He's upset, not even because of the whole podcast information, but because you're like, this podcast is none of my business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, now you misconstruing people's values. You looking at people crazy. And it's like, for me, if somebody telling me that the stuff that I put in is none of my business after I put in hella work, I'm going to look at you crazy.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Like, yeah, you have to look at people's values. And that's why friends in business don't, it's not the fact that it can't work. It's just the fact of people don't pay attention to people's values and when they're changing and when they're not changing. And then people just assume that everybody always assumes that the same thing is going to last forever. There's no exit plan. There's no contingency plan when working with friends, all of that. Everybody could easily work and make, hypothetically speaking, make the best t-shirts on earth. And, we make 3-4 lines, we cut the business, we all split the profits at the end of the day. And we close out all the business, all that stuff. If we could split it 3 ways, we end up good as friends. It's simple. But people don't talk about ending. And the reality is that when money gets involved, people throw the values, people throw the morals out the window. And as a result, that's where the shit gets fucked up. Not even because you can't mix friends and business.